So now, okay, here, just to highlight, all the examples that I've given, in Gosling and so on, all involve one author. So meaning that one article, there is only one author. But in many cases, especially research, uh, you do not do it alone. You have your gang, okay? You have your group. There will be multiple authors publishing one article. It is similar like you do this assignment, two per person. Two per group. So your the outcome is A and B. That is 2%. If there is 4%, A, B, C, and D. So you share. So these examples are all single author articles. So how do we actually deal if there is multiple authors? Okay, for this I'm going to go quite fast, so I hope that you can read from the slides. Okay, try to look into the differences. So I'm just going to cover just to highlight certain things, but the detail you should actually do it on your own. Okay, now here is actually uh, this is using APA. Okay, how do you actually cite article with multiple authors but from the same source? Okay, for example, you have the first one. Okay, there is one author. You have narrative parenthetical. So this is the narrative. This is the parenthetical. This is example. For example, here in the narrative, this is the same. Like Mohta 2007 states. Why states? Because Mohta is one person. So this is like singular. States that. So this is in narrative. Or parenthetical. In Malaysia, okay, this is the end of the sentence. Have Mohta, comma 2007 bracket. You see this full stop. So this is one author. So this is the examples that you have before. Now, what if you have two authors, two person in one article? Okay, you have narrative. See, let's say two person, Mohta and Brohi. Brohi is actually my PhD students a long time ago from Pakistan. Okay, so Mohta and Brohi, so N, A and D, because this is part of the sentence, you must use A and D. You cannot use ampersand. You cannot use this one because this is part of the sentence. So N is A and D. Mohta and Brohi, let's say 2010, state that, see state, because this is two person, this is plural. So it cannot be states. It's state because it is in English, this is considered plural. State that. Okay, what about parenthetical? We have in Malaysia. So let's say this is the end of the sentence. In Malaysia, bracket, Mohta. Okay, here, this is and the symbol. The ampersand. This is ampersand. They call it ampersand. Brohi. So if this is parenthetical, see, everything encapsulated in bracket, you must use ampersand. You cannot use A and D. And if this is part of the sentence, you must use A and D. Cannot use ampersand. This is common mistakes. Okay. For 3 to 5 authors, let's say you have 3 to 5 authors. Let's say this is a big group for one article. Okay, there is what we call the first and subsequent. Okay, now, this is first, subsequent. Okay, first meaning that the first time you use in your writing, this is how it is done. This is subsequent. Subsequent is that the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and so on. So this is the way it is done. Okay. Okay. Now, first, if it is 3 to 5 authors, you must list the name of the authors. For example, Mohta, comma, alias, and Abdullah, 3 authors. So if there is 4 authors, Mohta, comma, alias, comma, Abdullah, comma, Razak. For example, 4 authors. So you must list, comma, and use N. It's like a word. Okay, this is narrative. 2006, state that, and something. Okay, now, that is the first time, the first occurrence when you use in your article. But if you have used that one, suddenly in a later paragraph, you want to use this again, the same article again in a different part of your writing. So you do not have to list again, but you use muhtar, take the first author. This is at et.al dot at all. Now at all is in Latin means and others. So meaning muhtar at all, meaning it means muhtar and others. So others is that alias Abdullah and so on. So for the second time and above, if in the same article you do not repeat this, just muhtar at all. Okay, now similar if you use parenthetical, the first time, for example, the first time if you use in the item, the article in Malaysia, you have muhtar, comma, alias, and ampersand Abdullah. So you have 3 authors, for example. You have to list first time. But after that, if you happen to use this again, you want to use the parenthetical subsequent, you have muhtar, comma, at all. Okay, muhtar at all. Okay, I think this is a mistake. Okay, it's muhtar at all. There's no comma here. Sorry, muhtar at all. So I will correct this in the slides. Okay, muhtar at all. There is a mistake here. Sorry, there's no comma here. Muhtar at all dot then comma 2006. Okay, this is 3 to 5. Okay, now if the authors are 6 or more, meaning there are many people. So whether it is first time or second time or third time or how many times, you start off with muhtar at all. No need to list muhtar, alias, Abdullah, Abu Bakar, Omar, Osman, Ali, and so on until more than 6. No need. Go on muhtar at all. And in the parenthetical, muhtar at all. So meaning that this is for the first time and beyond. So doesn't mean, okay, this is different, 6 to 3 to 5. So this is something that you have to do. Okay, now just to highlight, when you use narrative, when you use the citation tool, you cannot actually, citation tool will allow for only parenthetical type. For example, yes, they can do this like this, but how do you get like this? This one you have to type. You have to type manually. Okay? So if you think that it is leceh or it's difficult for you to do, stick to parenthetical. Do not use narrative. Okay? If you use narrative, this one you have to type. But in the case, for example here, parenthetical, 3 to 5 authors. You see, 3 authors. Okay, if you use the citation tool, it automatically will give muhtar at all, which is incorrect. So you need to look if for any tool, so the first occurrence, you cannot have muhtar at all if it is 3 to 5 authors. You need to actually, so what you do, you need to type this manually. You cannot automatically insert using the citation tool. So these are the things that you need to be aware of. What are the things that you can use automatically, and what when you need to type in things. Okay. Okay, now if you have group authors, for example, United Nations, let's say United Nations, you are referring to a report by United Nations, and you do not know who the authors are because it's just say United Nations. So for you to use, let's say the first example, this is narrative. For if narrative, the first occurrence, you actually write incomplete United Nations bracket UN, 2010 states that. So this is the first occurrence. And if, let's say, the second occurrence and beyond, okay, if you use the same article in the same document, you do not have to type in United Nations, just UN 2010. So this is second, third, fourth, and so on. The first time, United Nations. UN is in the bracket. Okay, if you use parenthetical, okay, this is how you do it. This is the format, and so on. Okay, so this is in general how to cite using APA. So you see, there is things that you need to learn. Okay, you need to. This is a learning process. I hope that that's why I ask you for the assignments, at least 5, if I'm not mistaken. But I do not expect to have like so many citations, like 20 or 30, and so on. Okay, so if you have like 5 to 10, then I would be happy with your work. Okay, but this is example of citation, and in the assignment, I want you to use APA. Okay, now this is similarly, we have IEEE. Is quite different. We have 1 author, 2 authors, 3 or more. They now I think in terms of IEEE is more simple compared to APA in terms of how to cite, whether narrative or parenthetical. So this one I will not detail out, so you can look spend your own time, try to understand in general. So these are some of the important things that I would like to highlight, because I see many people do not understand all this. So basically, when they actually write the papers, it is wrong, including that some of the papers that have been published. Okay, they actually do not quite understand how to do it. So I'm teaching you how to do it properly. Okay, any question on this? Okay, any question on this? Okay, so actually the detail is in the reference module. For example, there is a guide by IEEE and APA, and also in internet also there are some information. So this I share some of the things that I highlight to be common mistakes by people. Okay, any question on this? Okay, now I think we are coming towards the end, and you can see that okay, now we have, if you have one part but citing multiple sources, so meaning that there are many people saying the same thing, and you decide to add everything, so every one of them. So this is how you do it. But then I will be asking, why do you want to add so many authors here? Just choose one, perhaps. It's not important to highlight, oh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G all say the same thing. But here, just to show that if you have multiple authors, okay, this is parenthetical. You can see that you separate with a semicolon. You see, this is all in one bracket. Mohta, 2007. This is one author. Semicolon. Propis, 1989. You see, this is another author. Semicolon. If you have 2 authors, Ferrer and ampersand, Korea, 1990, semicolon. So meaning that you separate this using semicolon, but retain one set of parentheses or brackets. Okay, if you are narrative, similarly, you can see many authors including blah 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 blah. This is the way you write. This is different. Mohta bracket 2007, comma, Propis 1989, comma, and so on. So you list and so on, have defined, so and so on. So this is narrative. For IEEE, because you are referring to just numbers. So for example, if the number, let's say just now, Mohta 2007 is like number 5. So you can put in 5, comma. Okay, if 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, it is in one sequence. You can put 9 to 17. Okay, if it is separated, 5 and 9 is not continuous. There is in middle 6, 7, 8 not included here. So you can use a comma. Okay, a comma. So this is IEEE. Okay, this is narrative, so you can actually use a combination of the names here like this, or perhaps just like this, like 5 comma 9 to 17. Many authors including 5. You don't mention the name of the author. Yes, this is also acceptable. Or if you choose to mention, for example here, Mokhtar, you want to mention the name Mokhtar. Okay, you can put Mokhtar 5, Propis, Ferrer and Korea, because this is narrative, you have A and D, 10. And others, this one you do not want to mention, you can actually combine this, okay? So this is also acceptable. So this is citing from multiple sources. Okay, so basically, I think that it's it from what I want to share within our lesson. Actually, all the work actually reference, most of the reference are based on my work, previous work. So there's no credit to others. So this is all my work. So basically, this is something that it does not comprehensively cover everything, but some of the important things that I hope that you can learn. Okay, any questions on this?
Prof,
Yes.
I have two questions.
Yes.
For the first part, if we like have the same, if we usually we cite the source, cite our work with our using each sentence, right? But how about we cite for each paragraph? Like, how can we cite for a paragraph
Okay, so
from
basically,
the same source?
okay, let's say, okay, I do not have example here, but let me show you. Just hopefully I can share example later on. Okay, now if for example you have one paragraph, within one paragraph, let's say sentence 1 and 2 from reference number 1. Okay, sentence 3 is from reference number 2, meaning that there are two references within one paragraph. Let's say your paragraph, there are three sentences. Okay, so what you do is that, let's say you want to use parenthetical, you don't want to use reference, let's say parenthetical. Okay, parenthetical is like this, okay, meaning that at the end. So meaning that what you can do is that you have first sentence, full stop, second sentence, okay, second sentence. So at the end of the second sentence, before the full stop, you put in the first citation. Okay, because 1 and 2 comes from the same author, same article. So sentence 1 and 2. So meaning that at the end of the second sentence, before the full stop, you put in the bracket. Okay, you put in this one. Okay, now the third sentence is based on a different article. So you start the third article, and at the end of the we start at the third sentence, and at the end of the third sentence, before the full stop, you put the second reference. So that is, if you have in one paragraph, you have more than one reference, meaning that sentence 1 and 2 from reference number 1, and sentence number 3 is from reference number 2. So you put like that. Okay, what if you have two paragraphs, and these two paragraphs are from the same reference, meaning that you have, let's say, Mokhtar 2007, that is a reference, but you have paragraph number 1 also from Mokhtar, paragraph number 2 also from Mokhtar, and each paragraph there are several sentences. So meaning that how you cite is that in the first paragraph, so at the end of the statement, the last sentence in the first paragraph, before the full stop, you put in Mokhtar, 2007, close bracket. So open bracket, Mokhtar, 2007, close bracket, full stop. So meaning that it is at the end of the paragraph, the first paragraph, before the full stop. Okay, now you start second paragraph. Now, the second paragraph also refers to Mokhtar. So, because there is a gap between paragraph, it's like terputus. Okay, there is a break of content because of different paragraph. So, meaning that although paragraph number 2 also cites from Mokhtar 2007, so you have to do it again, meaning that you have to go the paragraph number 2, and at the end of the sentence that you refer from Mokhtar 2007, before the full stop, you need to put the citation Mokhtar 2007. So meaning that if there is a break between paragraphs, okay, you need to put a citation, because you cannot just put once and it will sort of, oh, paragraph 2 also, 3 also, 4 also. You just put one time. That's not sufficient. So each paragraph, because when there is a break, you need to put in the citation. Okay. Do I answer you? If I do not answer you, what I will do is that I will actually prepare supplementary example. Okay, meaning additional example for you to actually to look into. So this is how it is done if this is the case. Okay, any question?
Yes, Prof. I understand for that question. I have another question.
Okay.
For the assignment part, can I use the Mendeley because my Microsoft has been integrated with the another tool which is called Mendeley. Can I use that tool?
Okay, if you use Mendeley, okay, even if you use if you use Mendeley, still it's no problem. Still I want you to submit the Microsoft Word, because the Mendeley is actually embedded, okay, incorporated the Mendeley tool as a plugin. Okay, so basically what I want to see actually Microsoft Word is that I want to see that you have used a certain tool. Okay, it's not like I don't want it like to be manually done. Some people they copy and paste, so which is not correct. So it's okay if you use Mendeley. Okay, you use Mendeley uh, uh, as a plug-in tool into Microsoft Word. So basically, when you submit to me in the Microsoft Word, still the plugin would be accessible to me. So hopefully that is the case. But if that is not the case, I will come back to you to see how I can have a look, because actually previously students complain a lot about Mendeley. Okay, but that's why I choose not to include Mendeley, because you need to install and so on. But if you can use Microsoft Word in total, that would be good. But if you choose to use Mendeley, so I think there I don't see any problem with this. Okay. Any question?
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
Any question? Anyone else? Okay. Let me recap again. So basically, what I want you to do for the assignment. Okay. So basically, assignment. I expect that for you have part 1, you have introduction, project background, and problem statement. Okay. Basically, I expect there will be citations to references. So basically, in doing that, you need to comply with whether there is a code, but code must be very minimal if only it is suitable. So even if you do it correctly, but I see that there's no reason for you to code, you shouldn't code. Okay, that is number 1. So I expect the rest to be like paraphrase, and paraphrase, and also summary. Okay, but of course in your paragraph, basically, because when you define, there are something of your view. So fine, if you can add your own view, or this is what you think. It's not from the literature, because because you want to justify something. That's why I want to do this application and so on. Sometimes it's your view, so there's no citation for that. Okay, if it is your view. So but for the rest, because you want to, your view must be supported by something. So this something must be cited from literature. So basically, I expect most of you will use largely paraphrasing and also summary. And for this part, okay, for citation, please use Microsoft Word citation tool. So when you submit your document, the Microsoft Word document, what I will do is that I am going to check the part for the citation, whether this is generated by the tool or not, and so on, to see you do it correctly. That is number one. So in addition to the proposal is in PDF, you need to submit the Microsoft Word document because I want to check the use of the tool. And also for part 1, 2, and 3, which is actually the introduction, the project background, and problem statement. So I expect you to use the plagiarism checker based on the tool that I have explained just now. I do not want any other tool because I want to use this tool. Okay, because to be consistent, and I think this tool is more thorough because some of the tools even they say there's no plagiarism, but it is actually plagiarism. So please use this tool, and you need to actually generate the PDF report, and you need to submit together the PDF report for the 3 parts. So meaning that if you have introduction, you have 1 report. Problem statement, you have 1 report. And for the introduction, 1 report. You have the project background, 1 report. And you have the problem statement is another report. So I need 3 reports. But for some reason, if for example you find that for each part is more than 1,000 words, meaning that the tool cannot process. That's the maximum for the free account. You are using this for free. So basically, you need to split according to paragraph. So meaning that if there is 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs, perhaps 2 paragraph, 1 report, another 2 paragraph, another report. Okay, if that is the case. But if that is not the case, I expect that you have introduction, 1 report, project background, 1 report, and problem statement, 1 report. Okay, so basically, you need to submit the PDF report. And I expect, okay, I consider that if you can achieve 30% or less plagiarism, okay, then that would be very good. That would be good. Okay, 31 to 50. Okay, I accept your submission. Okay, but I will reduce the marks in terms of plagiarism. Okay, I will reduce the marks. Anything above 50, okay, you get 0 from that. Regardless of whatever you write, you get 0 for that section. Anything above 50, it is a 0. Okay. Even you that get less than 30 doesn't mean that you get full mark. Okay, remember, because I will still look into the quality of the sentence. Is your sentence convincing? Is the grammar correct? Okay, and also there is a grammar checker. You can use the grammar checker to actually check your grammar and so on. Okay, so basically these are the things that actually you need to include in the assignment. So that's why the assignment is 40%, 40, a lot of marks. It's like a final exam, this one. Okay, so basically we have 40% first, later on then we have a smaller components. Okay, any question on this? Okay, any question? Okay, if not, okay, all the best to you. So I hope that there is good progress among the groups. Please do not wait until last minute, because I think it will bite you back if you wait. And these things are not so easy. You need, writing a proposal is easy, but to get a quality proposal is not so easy. It needs work, and for you to come up with a good work, you need time. Okay, paraphrasing is not easy. It's not easy. Okay, all the best to you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. So if you have anything to ask, you can actually ask through our WhatsApp group. Or if the things that you want to ask is very personal in nature, you can do it personally. Send me you can WhatsApp me personally, and I will look into your case. Perhaps someone will complain that, oh, I'm a member of two, but the other one does not do anything, do not contribute. So please inform me that if I find that is true, I'll give a 0 mark to your partner. So meaning that I consider this is a work from one person, not from a group. Say although it is you are in the group. Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. So I will publish this very soon.